As the hype for the August rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua begins, Usyk made a vow to the people of Ukraine. The unified heavyweight champ will return home to help in the war effort against Russia just as soon as he's made his first defense. Usyk defeated Joshua by a decisive unanimous decision in September of 2021 before AJ initiated the rematch. According to the former two-time champ, the time for talk is now over.
Too much talking for me. Let's talk more action. It's just, let me get in there and do my job. That's the main priority. Let me just get in there and do my job. I'm not a comedian. I'm not someone who writes speeches, innit? So I'm definitely hungry, definitely desperate, but at the end of the day, how I perform will speak like volumes to the masses.
For the rematch, the Big Brit has made some big changes. He's even gone so far as to replace his longtime trainer, Rob McCracken, in an effort to get the edge on Usyk.
But every fight's different. I love boxing, I watch boxing, but until you're in there in front of someone, no matter how many videos you've watched, no matter how many stare downs you've had, no matter how many press conferences you've done, it's just completely different in the ring. So 12 rounds is good, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna be completely different when that first bell rings, if I'm honest with you. So you can't take too much away from it. You just gotta be in the moment. What happened then is in the past. I don't really live in the past, I'm just like present. So August 20th, I'll be present and I'll be looking forward to competing round by round. And if I follow my A, B's and C's, it should lead me to KO.
Послухайте, я нічого ні від кого не очікую, тому що це велика дурниця чогось чекати від людей.
I'm not expecting anything from anyone because I think it's a bit stupid to expect someone from anything from people.
Я розумію, що він буде інший.
I do understand that he's gonna be different.
Я також буду інший.
So will I.
The press conference also marked the first time Usyk has spoken about the Russian invasion of his country since leaving Ukraine's front lines.
It's still influencing me because just within the last 4 days, the Russian army launched a huge amount of missiles into the cities of Ukraine. Many buildings were destroyed and people killed. It's just horrible.
Usyk versus AJ2 in Saudi Arabia for the WBA, IBF and WBO heavyweight world titles is set to go down this August 20. And while the conflict is clearly on the champ's mind, he insists that it gives him more to fight for than just the belts.
I'm not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for every man who stands on the front line there, for every soldier, for every citizen who is still in Ukraine, for everyone who makes an effort to defend our country, for the president and all the people of Ukraine.
Staying with the heavyweights, Joe Joyce retained his top spot as the WBO's mandatory challenger. A shame his fourth-round stoppage of Christian Hammer still doesn't guarantee him next shot at the winner of Usyk and Joshua. The 2016 Olympic silver medalist is ranked #1 with the WBO and WBC, so he's a very likely contender within the next year, but that will first depend on Usyk and AJ not going for the trilogy. And then there's the wild card, the WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. While the Gypsy King insists he has retired, again, he is yet to give up the belt, and a bout against the winner of Usyk and AJ would be to crown the first undisputed heavyweight champ in over 20 years. That could be too tempting a payday for Fury to ignore. So Joe Joyce may have to wait just a little longer. To the junior welterweights, the former undisputed champ Josh Taylor has vacated another belt. The Scotsman relinquished his WBC strap in order to face Jack Catterall in a rematch. Because of all the stick and abuse I've been getting, and the way Jack's been too, mouthing off and moaning, explained Taylor, I just want to shut his mouth. In his first defense of the undisputed title, Taylor won a controversial split decision win over Catterall, who was the WBO's mandatory challenger. The rematch is yet to be announced. And to the cruiserweights, Myris Breedis flew to Australia just to lose the IBF belt to the local lad Jai Opataya via a unanimous decision. In lighter news, Canelo Alvarez has described his love of golf ahead of his appearance at this week's Icon Golf Series event in New Jersey.
Yeah, for me it's very different, right? My sport is totally different. So for me, golf is, I feel calm, make me feel better in the gym too. So I love golf.
Sporting stars from the United States will take on a team from around the world, captained by the former world #1 golfer and multiple-time major winner Ernie Els. The team includes retired tennis ace Ash Barty, cricketing legend Brian Lara, English football captain Harry Kane, and of course the Mexican boxing icon Canelo Alvarez, who compared hitting a golf ball to throwing a good punch.
It's similar because when you try to punch somebody so hard, it's more difficult. So you need to be relaxed, and when you don't feel nothing is when they go down, right? It's the same feel with the ball.
Ron, I'll keep that in mind.
Sometimes you feel like, oh, I hit so hard and don't go down, and then you feel nothing, and just, it's the same with the club.
And in even lighter news, Logan Paul may have already hung up the gloves for good. The YouTuber turned boxer has signed a deal with the WWE. Paul began his boxing career with a pair of highly publicized bouts against fellow social media buffoon KSI. The first was an amateur bout that ended in a draw. The second, a professional bout that Logan lost via split decision. His next fight was a big one, an exhibition bout with the undefeated but retired boxing megastar Floyd Mayweather. He lost that too, leaving him with a combined record of 0-2-1 in the ring. Meanwhile, Logan's brother Jake is having trouble with his next bout. The YouTuber turned boxer / promoter's twice booked opponent, the Englishman Tommy Fury, has been denied entry to the United States. Fury, the younger half-brother of the heavyweight champ Tyson Fury, was barred from getting on a flight at Heathrow Airport before flying to New York for the press conference. Fury's received a termination notice. MVP did everything it could to help him and his team. He wasn't interested, and he literally went into hiding, tweeted Paul. Second time in a row he is pulled out. Second time in a row, I'm going to step up and take on a new opponent on short notice. August 6, MSG. So there's that.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.